Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is currently Saturday, and I'm going to be playing a little bit more Spirit of Justice. Now, we ended a little bit early before the next checkpoint, so, I mean, these chapters are getting long as all hell, so, you know, expect that to happen a little bit more often if these things are going to continue to be as long. Okay, so, catch up from what we did last time. Essentially, we tried to fight Phoenix for the entirety of the time that we were in court. And then he managed to pull himself out of the water at very last minute. Just as we were just about ready to win. So, I don't know. Let's see if we could possibly crush him again. How many more witnesses could he possibly have? I don't know. How many cards does he have up his sleeve? I'm scared. So, okay then. I am curious to see what happens. Let's go ahead and dive in, shall we? Here we are. May 17th, District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Mr. Wright is sure acting funny. Yeah, we were wondering that. It's just like, has somebody been kidnapped again? I mean, he's famous for going out on a limb, but that last assertion was just plain crazy. Great. Pulls on Phoenix's sleeve. 37 decks of cards fall out onto the floor. I know your daughter's a magician, but Jesus. What are you, a card pack mule? It's either a bluff or a Hail Mary. Either way, it doesn't make much sense. Maybe there's something we're missing here. Although he seems perfectly normal when we spoke earlier. Apollo, I have a bad feeling about this. I'm gonna go check up on him. Again, possession. What's going on with you, Mr. Wright? Hey, Private Joe. Oh, who is this? Oh, Funny Stuff says, what if that's all the cards Trucy made disappear over the years and he had no idea where they were? They were in there. It's just like, oh, well, all right then. Oh, hello. Oh, Sarge. I forgot to mention something. On the night of Papa's murder, a strange thing happened. Oh, but why are you only telling me about it now? Well, I didn't say anything before because I thought Papa's death was an accident. Accidente. But now that we know otherwise, I figure it might be important. There's still more to this case? Apparently. When I left my room and lost consciousness, I passed out right here. Okay, what does that... Oh, right, directly next to the entrance. Right above the coffee bar. But when I came to, someone was pushing my wheelchair. What? I was so scared, I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me. Do you know who it was? No, it was pitch black. Plus, I fled to my room so fast, I didn't even have a chance to turn on the lights. Maybe it was your father? No, he would have said something to me. Besides, I'd have known if it was him. So then it could have been your father's real killer. My thoughts exactly. But you didn't report this to the police? You little shit girl. How dare you? You're making this 20 times harder. It didn't even occur to me. Nah, it's okay. You were obviously still upset, so don't beat yourself up over it. No! Do beat yourself up. What kind of professional sergeant are you? Apollo, this could be really important information. I think the act of pushing Sarge's wheelchair could be part of some bigger scheme. It's hard to see why else the killer would have done such a thing. Guess I should take her statement down as evidence. Right. Probably inadmissible to actual court, but sure. Oh, welcome back, Athena. What, did he explode? What's with the long face? We joked about the fact that Maya might have been kidnapped again, but for God's sakes, I'm starting to think that might be the case. How'd it go with Mr. Wright? What should I... Athena? Oops, sorry. Zoned out there for a sec. The recess is almost over, so let's go. Widget, it'd be a very good time for you to chime in right now. You know, she's like,
she's been kidnapped! Again! What is this, the 13th time this series? This series. Sorry. My batteries are low.
Funny stuff said, now I'm imagining Phoenix pointing and like 17 cards flying out of a suit. Objection! Huh. What's that all about? I guess we'll get to the bottom of it eventually. May 17th, District Court, courtroom number 6. Phoenix plays 52 card pickup in the courtroom. Pick that up! All right, court is once again back in session. Now, Mr. Wright, about that last objection you raised. We, the plaintiffs, still believe that the defense has yet to sufficiently prove its case. They claim that, according to legend, the Founder's Orb would bestow spiritual power. Yet the relic in question has failed to do so, therefore it has failed its own test. Right, what kind of bullshit is going on here? But again, he's kind of, I don't know, he's kind of showing his hand, so to speak, that the fact that, oh, magic doesn't exist? Well then, throw away your entire, round of logic, you asshole. Oh, Maple Leaf says... I is a nifty pack, so I apologize if I don't talk much. Oh, are you working on it right now? That is very nice. But you forgot the important card of the deck, the Joker he has in his chest pocket. Right. I see. He's sticking with that ridiculous argument? This is the king of spin, people. Furthermore, even if it is the Founder's Orb, it can't be awarded to the Defiant Dragons. After all, they were the ones who killed Dr. Buff. What are you talking about? That was already proven to be false. There are no grounds for asserting that the Defiant Dragons murdered the Doctor. Funny stuff says, ah yes, my favorite card, the King of Spin. That's Vinny's joke, but spin! Yep, Jaluxia in the chat, the King of Spin. I wish I had some ridiculous, like, you know, modulator filter like going on so I could do that. I mean, I could quite literally go and do, Actually, no, I don't have anything set up. I really should. Oh, but I'm afraid there are, Mr. Justice. Your Honor, I would like to present new testimony to this court. Testimony that will show that Dats Arball did in fact kill Dr. Buff. What? Very well. You may call your witness. I guess Mr. Wright found another new angle. What new testimony could there be this late in the game? And who will it be? Oh, this jackass. Okay. Fellow citizens, it is I, Paul Utterson, the once and future representative of the people. Jeez, not him again. My client divulged new information to me during the recess. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back. He remembered something he saw, you see. Something crucial to this case. How very convenient. All right, spin us a yarn. What do you got to say, Mr. Politician? It was around 11 at night, and I was out on a mobile meet and greet around the village. That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. Mr. Arball snuck up from behind and struck him on the head. His weapon of choice, a suitcase. A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head. Where is said oh, right, his suitcase. Shite. You saw the murder as it happened? And you're just telling us now because... I saved the best for last. It's a tactic known to all the political greats. The murder weapon was a complete mystery, but my client's eyewitness account has finally brought it to the light.
According to the autopsy report, Dr. Buff was struck in the head by the corner of some object. I suppose that could very well be the corner of a suitcase.
Did anybody test that thing with luminol?
Objection!
Paul asked Titian Wimperson, because he's an ass. Yes, Jalexia. But eyewitness testimony isn't the same as hard evidence. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. What's that supposed to mean? We have physical evidence too. Oh, fuck no. A luminol test revealed. We found it. The doctor's blood on Mr. Arball's suitcase.
Really?
But how does that prove Mr. Arball used it as a weapon? You dumbass. You should know the answer to that, Mr. Justice. Illuminati. Since you know as well as that since you know as well as I that the suitcase is covered in his fingerprints. Ah! I forgot we dusted it right in front of Emma. Shit. The turnabout terror strikes again.
This is quite convincing testimony and evidence. Nevertheless, you may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Justice.
Illuminati? Whenever I hear that word, I think about that one Courage the Cowardly Dog, you know, that one episode. Hello, I said. My name is Fred. The voices you hear are from my head. Like I said, my name is Fred, and I've been very naughty. That's his crime. 11 at night, and I was out on a mobile meet and greet around the village. Fluffy said, what's with these faces? I can't take these games seriously. I don't either. I don't think they're meant to be taken seriously, though. You were on a so-called mobile meet and greet at 11 a.m. Look, wait, at 11 at night? What? Not 11 a.m. That's right. It's the perfect time because everyone is at home. You should have seen how the villagers' eyes teared up when they heard what I had to say.
With tears of frustration, no doubt.
You weren't riding around in your, palanquin? Oh god, that thing. I certainly miss it. I miss all of my echoes that I could, reverberate.
Like these. Oh. Ooh. Hey, I can suddenly do it with my own vocal cord.
No, that would be hilarious, but no. That's right. Some village idiot reported me to the police. I've been banned from using it after dark. No wonder. What with all the noise he makes?
Boom shakalaka laka, boom shakalaka laka.
So what exactly did you see then? That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. I don't know what it is, but like, I don't know. I guess there's got a lot of gunk just sitting in my throat and I don't know why. Excuse me. Ah, Will and Rogers. Hello. Yep, playing it on the 3DS. With a capture card that I hope doesn't die before the end of the series. Sounds like you witnessed something rather shocking. Indeed, I didn't even believe it at first. I mean, a vicious murder in Karain. There haven't been many murders there, I take it. If I'm elected, I promise you that such a terrible tragedy will never happen again. A vote for me is a vote to banish murder forever from our beloved Karain village. How are you gonna control that? Do you have, like, I don't know. Oh, God, what's that one? I have not played Assassin's Creed in a very long time. What's that one relic that, like, controls people's minds? I'm trying to remember. Basically, it's sort of like the, oh, God, please help me. Somebody in the chat. Somebody must know it. Oh, is it A Piece of Eden, I think is what it was called. Or as I like to call it, the story writer's scapegoat. Yeah, good luck with that.
Mr. Addison Wimperson, please tell the court what you saw at the scene of the crime.
Funny stuff. Bees. I see somebody hasn't played Assassin's Creed. Mr. Arball snuck up from behind and struck him on the head. He snuck up from behind? So you're saying the doctor never even realized Mr. Arball was there? That's right. He was utterly absorbed in a book. I see. What did you see Mr. Arball do next? Oh no, the bees! Fluffy says never trust politicians. Here in England... Wait, here in England shows the facts to be true. Oh, shoot. I did not know that you were in England. So, hello from there. I hear it's a very lovely place. I hear we didn't appreciate it, though. He climbed up the bookshelf ladder and dumped a bunch of books down on the body. I believe he was trying to make it look like an accident. But that idiot didn't realize I could see everything from outside the window. One of those statements doesn't feel right. Your Honor, I believe the witness made an important statement just now about how Dats is an idiot. The crime was clearly visible. The doctor was reading a book. No, here's the thing. We were talking about the fact that he was looking at, all right, if we want to talk about what was previously happening before all this shit was taking place, he was holding on to the relic, and then it started glowing fire and all that jazz. That's what he was doing. Why was he reading a book at the time? Like, that doesn't make sense. The doctor was reading a book at the time of the murder? That's vital testimony.
Very well. The witness will please add that statement to his testimony.
Oh dear. Is that proper? The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book. I do still think that's right, but... You watched a murderer commit his crime and did nothing to stop it? That doesn't sound like a good way to score points with the voting public. I'm a politician, not a superhero. I'm under no obligation to risk life and limb. He sure is quick to deny his obligations when there's nothing in it for him. Obvious parallel is obvious shit. I'm getting tired of listening to his endless campaigning and flimsy rationalizations. About your testimony, Mr. Addison Wimperson. You said Mr. Arball struck the doctor from behind while he was absorbed in a book. Yes, that's exactly what happened. His weapon of choice, a suitcase. I don't think there's anything I could possibly, like, push him for here. I should have did something, because this is ruining his rep. Should have done something because this is ruining... I don't know. I don't think his reputation could possibly be squashed at this point. Unless, of course, he gets, tried and jailed for murder. Are you sure? Positive. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Yet, despite your certainty, you kept quiet about it up until now. No, I was waiting. I knew there would be a perfect chance to talk about it later. Information must always be disclosed in a strategic manner. That is one of the lessons of kingcraft, as taught by the Addison clan. Is there a lesson by chance in the Addison Kingcraft guidebook on being honest? Bush says, seeing a proud politician fall is amusing. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this guy fall. Anyway, I saw Mr. Arball commit that heinous crime. A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head. Conjecture, Your Honor. Who cares about strength? I would have to agree that suitcase is really heavy. Wait a second. How did you know it was so heavy? For all you knew, it could have been empty. Ha! Oh. Phoenix, fuck off. Fluffy said, Papa's bastard. My client witnessed the crime in progress, so naturally he saw Mr. Arball straining to lift what was obviously a heavy suitcase. I can't say I'm a fan of you trying to discredit my client by tripping him up, Mr. Justice. But I'm just doing what you always do, Mr. Wright. I learned it by watching you! Oh, hello, Saren. Whoa. This is bad, but
Hello?
no. Dr. Buff was struck from behind while he was absorbed in a book. Yep, he did it. He stole the recipe. He's guilty. He did it. He must have been really into it. It doesn't add up. What doesn't? Saren says, first non-Hatton time stream. Yeehaw! Well, welcome to the field of Ace Attorney. Right there is the bunker. Get ready for some heavy shit. We're taking fire. Sorry, I got Sarge stuck in the brain. Funny Stuff says, congrats, we're at the end of the game. Splat Time said, I'm so zoned out, all I heard was no tripping up and imagined Apollo sticking his leg out in the middle of the courtroom to try and trip someone. Just like, shoot, looks like you should have been looking where you were going. Anyway, that Paul Edison is lying, I'm sure of it. And I'm sure too. Especially now that you have confirmed that the doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book. Here's the thing. Hey, Mr. Arball, walk over here. No trixies, I promise. So, let me take a look at this. Which one of these specifically says? Diagram, Doctor Study. I agree to hand over the orb, derpy herps. Data obtained from a thing. A report filed a year ago by autopsy. Fled to her room and she realized someone had moved her when she'd been unconscious on the second. So there's got to be something here that specifies that, like, you know, the doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book. I doubt it. Standing in front of... Oh, okay. I could say that the crime scene could have been manipulated in some capacity, but there was all those statements about the Founder's Orb and all that. I feel like the Founder's Orb might be it. Objection! That ain't it. That statement contradicts with this piece of evidence.
And just how does it contradict with the evidence, Mr. Justice?
Could I have about 5 minutes?
No.
Shoot, okay. So that's not right. But I still feel like this is definitely the statement I should be pressing on. Absorbed in a book. All right. Well, then let's think about, like, you know, what is based on this particular statement. Clearly the study photo talks about the books and all that jazz. Fleeing the scene, the night murder, one of the books. I'm wondering if maybe this has something to do with it. Objection! Nope! That statement contradicts with this piece of evidence.
Nope.
Oh, shoot. Okay, that ain't working. I still... Okay, once again, still feel like this is right, but... The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book. I feel that is correct. Could it be the study diagram? Maybe something about... Well, he was in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book. Okay. It could have something to do with the layout of the environment, perhaps. And I doubt there's anything to do with this thing. This is all about the Founder's Orb and whatnot. So, oh, right, the doctor's reading glasses. Oh, shit, my brain. The doctor's poor eyesight meant he couldn't read anything without these. They were found on his desk. Oh. Objection. Well, I feel silly now. The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book, you say? Jaluxia said, Peck, just realized I never did the badge emote. Instead, you made more projects. Nah, it's fine. I do that all the time. I'm sorry, but it seems your testimony is completely unreliable. That's quite a bold statement coming from someone who flubbed twice. Well, let's hear you back. Yeah. I challenge you to prove that I am anything but 100% reliable. It would be my pleasure. Lately, it seems the doctor's eyes had gotten so bad he needed reading glasses. However, his reading glasses were over on his desk. So you see, there's no way he could have been reading in front of the bookshelves. Stop breaking your thing. I'm sorry, Mr. Addison Wimperson, but I'm going to have to ask you to explain this discrepancy to the voting public. You what? I'll explain it, you lowly cur. I simply made a mistake, you see. The doctor was actually sitting at his desk when Mr. Arball hit him over the head. But then the doctor would have been facing him. Surely he would have seen him and tried to run. Dr. Buff was nodding off. I could tell because his eyes were closed and he wasn't moving. Sounds more like what you would what you would do. Then how do you explain the fact that he was struck in the back of the head? Isn't that something that should be impossible for the front of the desk? Oh, about that. He bowed his head when he nodded off. That's when he was clobbered.
So that's what you saw. Well, Mr. Justice, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable explanation to me. Do you have a problem with the proposal that the doctor was struck while nodding off?
Funny stuff. Globber! You know what? A big problem. Sure, why not? There is a problem. A very big problem. The witness's statement doesn't hold up under the slightest bit of scrutiny.
Is that so? Then will you please show this court what evidence you have to justify this?
Gladly, Your Honor. This shows the problem with the witness's claim that he saw the doctor nodding off. I think this might have something to do with layout and placement of stuff. Because if you take a look at this, yeah, there's a bookshelf sitting directly in front of where the doctor would have been sitting. So no, you would have saw nothing.
A diagram of the study?
Mr. Addison Wimperson allegedly viewed the murder from here. And the doctor was allegedly nodding off here. So unless this man is Superman and can see through goddamn walls... But from his vantage point, the bookcase would have blocked the witness's line of sight.
Why, yes, I believe you're right.
But... The fact remains my client knew that the suitcase was the murder weapon. So he definitely had first-hand knowledge of the crime scene. I'm afraid I have to agree with you there, Mr. Wright. But then we have to ask ourselves, from what vantage point did he see the murder? What are you insinuating, Mr. Justice? From what vantage point could Mr. Addison Wimperson have seen the dozing doctor? Once we determine that, I believe we finally see the truth behind this incident. The witness saw the murder from right here. Okay, this could be a couple of different places, but I'd have to guess that if he saw the murder, he would have had to have been perhaps like... Okay, we were talking about the fact that, something's gonna go down on this, this area up here. And it doesn't seem like they want me to select, like, any of the floor down there. I don't know. It's cropped weird. My guess is that this balcony is what I'm supposed to be pointing at. You've got to be kidding!
But that's...
It is indeed. But everything only makes sense if the witness was there in the study. Inside the study? But that's the scene of the crime! I know. Mr. Addison Wimperson, the man who claims to be a witness to the murder, was most certainly in that very room. Is that all you're counting here? Like, you're not going to point out the fact that, oh yeah, I pointed at the, the higher up. Apollo, are you suggesting? Mr. Addison Wimperson, weren't you the one who actually swung that suitcase? What you're proposing is ludicrous. My client is a small, thin man, whereas Mr. Arball has the musculature to pull it off. He has a point. Hey, whatever, he could have gotten crafty. I gave up trying to lift that thing after one go. That's right. He's the only one who could have lifted such a heavy suitcase. Now, do you understand? The rebel Dats Arball is the doctor's killer. As long as the suitcase is the murder weapon, the suspicion falls entirely on Dats. You'll have to poke a hole in Mr. Wright's argument somehow, Apollo. Oh, I will. And with his own technique, no less. If Mr. Addison Wimperson couldn't swing the suitcase around, we'll just have to consider another way he could have used it as a murder weapon instead. I'm gonna turn this case on its head, Mr. Wright, just like you taught me. You talk big, Mr. Justice, but do you have what it takes?
Well, this should be interesting.
Mr. Addison Wimperson's testimony has been filled with one inaccuracy after another. First, he stated that Dr. Buff was in front of the bookshelves. Now he claims the doctor was sitting at his desk. So where was the victim really when he was killed? Also, where was his killer? And how was the murder weapon really used?
So the important thing here is the position of the victim and killer relative to each other.
Yes, Your Honor. If they were positioned in a certain way, it would be possible to use the suitcase as a weapon without lifting a finger. You can't mean... I think I do. My client is it? No, this is happening.
My client is a small, thin man.
Sorry, I got something in my throat. Yeah, Sarah, and that's about what I'm thinking, yeah. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. It's quite distinctive, as you can see. Now, if Dr. Buff were sitting in a certain spot and his killer was at a certain other spot, the suitcase would become a weapon anyone could use.
Oh, objection.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Where was Dr. Buff, Buff's killer, at the time of the crime?
Well, obviously, they were right the fuck here.
There?
Oh, that's... This should wrap things up nice and pretty for you, Mr. Wright. Although we just established the fact that apparently Sarge was up there. Uh-oh. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. But this time, instead of thinking in 2 dimensions, let's think in 3. Only then can we clearly see the killer's method at work. 3D graphics. Doot. The killer didn't have to swing the suitcase. If he used gravity to his advantage, that is. 3D. That's right. It was the plaintiff, one Paul Addison Wimperson, who used the suitcase. He pushed it from the 2nd floor and sent it hurling down onto Dr. Buff, who was sitting at the coffee bar. Oh yeah, Saren was asking, is this a 3DS game? Yes, it is. And boy, oh boy, getting something like this to work, it's not complicated, but it's expensive. The psychology book, the psychology book had been at the coffee bar, no doubt. The doctor must have set it down there after he'd finished reading it, or the like. But his blood got on it, which is why the killer thought to hide it in that mountain of books. That's quite an entertaining theory you have there, Mr. Justice. But there's no evidence that the murder took place at the coffee bar. Brain blast. I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Wright. I'd say that evidence of the murder occurring at the coffee bar exists. The evidence does exist, and I'm gonna show you. You are? Yeah, what do you think of this? This right here is proof that the murder took place at the coffee bar, and yep, we got ourselves a coffee stain. I was wondering when this book of, like, blood and coffee would eventually come up. This brown stain was determined to be coffee. What's more, it was still a bit damp when we saw it yesterday morning. One look at this book speaks volumes, I'm afraid, Mr. Wright. It tells us the doctor was having a cup of coffee at the coffee bar. That's when the suitcase came hurtling down, striking him on the head, causing both his blood and the coffee to splatter on it. Well, Mr. Addison Whipperson. What motive could I have possibly had to kill Dr. Buff? And there it is, the final excuse cornered killers are so fond of. Well, the doctor never returned your crystal to you, did he? Instead, he hid it in the cave ruins. Telling him that the Defiant Dragons were a dangerous bunch was a huge blunder. All it did was make him hide the orb. Your lie came back to bite you in the end. Even worse, the doctor saw the news reports, so he knew the relic was the Founder's orb. Being the conscientious researcher he was, he knew he had to return it to its rightful place. And that meant keeping it out of your hands. He's losing his mind. Funny stuff said the bard from Wandersong has caffeine jitters in the distance. Miriam! You were so angry that he refused to return the relic to you that you killed him with your own hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Addison Whipperson? His freaking name is a mouthful. Again, if you're so worried about that thing breaking so often, you should probably put it somewhere else, buddy. That is... Oh, what the hell do you have to say? Apollo! Don't! Please don't accuse my client of murder! What do you mean, don't accuse him? Why would you even say that, Mr. Wright? What I meant was, he's a promising politician with a bright future ahead of him. Yeah, your smug is, kind of showing, so, dude. It's in our nation's best interest to avoid blundering him with the taint of scandal. Say what? How many more layers of tape you think it's gonna take before you can't even see his name? Right, you'd better do something to change the current courtroom climate, or I'll be charged with murder. And you know what will happen to her if that... I knew it! Spirig says, politicians are bad news. Some of them are. This guy definitely. What's he talking about? Well, I can ponder that later. For now, Mr. Wright, you can't possibly believe that Mr. Arbol is the killer. Are you really going to send an innocent man to prison? I thought you were better than that. Well, Mr. Wright, answer me! Yeah, that's about right. Mr. Wright? What in the world's going on here? If you won't say anything, then... Mr. Addison Whipperson, the defense hereby... Apollo, wait! Oh, are we gonna have a therapy session with you? Hello. Gelexia says, and this is where I say, Bitby, you were right the entire time. Well, let's see. Let's see who's actually kidnapped. Apollo, wait! Not you too, Athena. It's just, I wasn't sure whether I should say anything, but during that last recess, when I went to check on Mr. Wright, I overheard something I shouldn't have. Ooh, filthy, dirty laundry from Mr. Wright. Yep. I trust Maya is unharmed. Ooh, hello. I can pull this thing out.
I can't really say, but just remember. If I'm arrested or fail to obtain the treasure, there will be consequences. Consequences of the worst kind, if you catch my drift. Relax. All you have to do is ensure I get my hands on that relic. I must deliver it to my benefactor at all costs.
What do they want with that relic anyway?
It's something to do with an old legend. My patron seeks the great power said to be granted to whoever solves its secret.
Maple said, I'm questioning why the police in the background wasn't doing anything. Also considering the fact that
he had this thing on and everyone could freaking hear him?
Funny Stuff says,
I'm very sneaky and quiet by using this loudspeaker, don't you know? No one has any idea I'm doing something bad.
That's about right. Maya? As in Maya Fey? Yes, the boss's legendary former assistant. Miss Fey's being held hostage? Of course! So it seems. Why didn't you tell me as soon as you heard this? Sorry, it's just Mr. Wright spotted me before I could slip away and made me promise not to tell you. He said it would make things more difficult if you found out. As if things weren't already hard enough. So that's why Mr. Wright was acting so strange. I had no idea. This must have been excruciating for him. Think, Justice. There's got to be something you can do. Bush says, must be very good soundproofing to muffle his noise. Whose noise? Phoenix, like Phoenix's or Addison? Or both, I don't know.
Mr. Justice, about that last statement of yours, I believe you were in the middle of accusing the plaintiff of murdering Dr. Buff. Would you care to continue?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Apollo. I'm really, really sorry.
What's gotten into you two?
If I accuse that slime bag, I put Miss Fey's life in jeopardy. It seems you've finally caught on. I'm far too important to be accused of murder. After all, our nation's future rests squarely on my shoulders. Funny Stuff says, Mr. Paul Addison Wimperson gets his credit card details whilst forgetting to turn off his loudspeaker.
2953 6772. Are you noting this down?
Either I give up or... Stall! Come up with more questions! Once I present the crystal to my patron, my victory is assured. Then one day I'll become president, and then king. I'll have every politician at my command. Now, retract your accusation. I can't kowtow to him. I have not seen the phrase kowtow before, or koto. A Shadow says, crap, sorry, I'm late. No, that's fine. It's cool. There is no law or rule that states you have to be here every single day. Or that you have to be here on time. Whatever, man. You know, pop in at 7, pop in at 9. I'd pop in at 12 when I'm gone. Whichever. Saren says, I think it's pronounced kowtow. Weird. The defense would... It would like to retract the previous... Who's this? Yep, here we are.
Apollo!
Dirk!
I don't know what's going on here, but a lawyer should never look the way you do right now. with defeat and resignation written all over your face.
Is it that obvious?
A dragon never yields.
Yes. Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get the truth.
Dirk! A dragon never yields. But I don't have the fancy tattoo. I can't do it.
He's right. It's all over if I give up now. If Mr. Wright's hands are tied, it's up to me to do what must be done. He's saved my neck so many times. Now, it's my turn to save his. Dirk, thanks for that wake-up call.
I imagine the judge is just like,
Hey! Sit back in your seat! Nobody called you! Stop! Now that's the face of a lawyer who've got there, son.
yes.
Where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm gonna find the way to save Miss Fay. And see that justice is served.
Here we go. Brain blast. Let's do it.
That scumbag is holding Miss Fay hostage to ensure he gets the orb for his patron, and it seems said patron believes in the orb's legend. Thing is, the founder did appear when the orb was exposed to fire, just as the legend said. If the legend is true, then we've already solved the riddle, right?
Oh, fuck.
Yes, we definitely solved the riddle, and yet, we still don't understand what the part of bestowing power is talking about. I need to rethink this.
Oh, shoot. Right. So, no, we kind of haven't figured this out yet.
The legend says the founder will bestow great spiritual power when she returns. But if that's true, it means we haven't solved the whole riddle yet. But how can that be? Are we missing something? Wait, maybe the part about the founder returning should be taken literally. But how would it be possible for a dead person to return to the world of the living? Channeling! They need a spirit medium.
Time travel! No.
Oh, I know! There is a way for the dead to return. Spirit channeling! Of course, you'd have to know what the founder looks like first. But the orb has revealed her face to us, so what if it's a sign that we should channel her? Given the facts, in order to solve the riddle and receive the founder's power, I need
To practice channeling.
We need a hero. A medium is needed to obtain the power. The ability of a medium to channel spirits is the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. That means Mr. Addison Whipperson's patron will need one too. And once that slimy politician realizes that, he won't be able to lay a finger on Miss Fay.
Haha! Catch-22!
Everything's gonna be okay, Mr. Wright, because Mr. Paul Addison Whipperson can't afford to harm a hair on Miss Fay's head.
Huh?
Mr. Addison Whipperson, it seems you've chosen the wrong person to take hostage.
What do you mean? Shut up. I have not taken anyone hostage. You are... Oh, this is inflammatory, and you are besmudging my name, and I will sue you for defamation, sir.
Your patron seeks to solve the orb's riddle, and thereby receive great spiritual power. However, only Maya Fey can truly give them what they really want. She can?
What do you mean, only Maya Fey?
Think about what the return of the founder really means. We should have considered it more literally. After all, the orb was made in the kingdom of Kurain, the birthplace of spirit mediums.
Oh, I think I see now. You need to know what the deceased looks like in order to channel them.
But in Curianism, depicting the face of the founder is taboo.
However, her true face was hidden in the orb. So maybe the orb is telling us to try channeling the Founder. Exactly. Through a spirit medium, the Founder can quite literally return. And if the legend is true, the Founder just might bestow spiritual power on someone when she does. It's like when Pearls imbued my Magatama with spiritual power. If a human could be imbued with such power in a similar manner.
It is said that Founder possesses immense spiritual power. Such a great feat would not necessarily be beyond her. Wait a second! Then the legend is true?
Do you understand? Do you understand now, Mr. Addition Whipperson? You are holding hostage the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. And if anything were to happen to her, the riddle would remain unsolved forever. Haha. God. Oh my God. Funny stuff in the chat.
I have not taken... Wait.
I've not taken anyone hostage. Meanwhile, 30 minutes ago in the lobby via his loudspeaker.
Hey, Mr. Phoenix Wright, want to talk about the hostage situation? The hostage I have? The hostage to force you to do my bidding? Your hostage? That hostage?
There's always Pearl Fay. I could simply ask her to help. If she wants money, I have plenty to offer. She's not the kind of person to be tempted by material gain. And she certainly wouldn't help you if anything were to happen to her cousin. And also, is Maya the kind of person that... I mean, I suppose we could get her some burgs. I don't know. Hostage doesn't even sound like a word anymore.
Hostage. Hostage. Hostage.
Or maybe you'd like to go ask the Queen of Kurain to channel the Founder for you. He could, but he'd probably get executed for requesting such a thing. Shadow says, hostage sounds like hot sausage. And funny stuff, hostess.
Snack cake.
It's over. Now confess. You killed Dr. Buff, didn't you? It wasn't supposed to end this way.
Mr. Addison Whipperson, are you admitting to committing the crime?
You're my lawyer, right? Do something. It's true that I'm your lawyer, and as such, it's my job to defend you. However, defending my client isn't the only duty a lawyer has. There's something else that's equally as important. And that is finding the truth. What? Mr. Addison Whipperson, you have sought to twist the truth in the dirtiest of ways. I was complicit in your hostage-taking, but in a way, I was being held hostage too. Even so, there's still hope for me to make things right. And I owe it all to you, Apollo. Ah, thank you, sir. I can't allow a murderer to walk away scot-free. Therefore, Mr. Addison Whipperson, I must resign as your attorney. No. Oh. Wait, does that mean you're not going to lose? Does this mean I'm under arrest? No!
My campaign!
Well, let's just see what kind of crazy thing he does. Again, I feel like that sign is mostly Scotch tape now. Well, I've nothing to confess. What? I said I've nothing to confess. I don't, and I won't, especially not to a plebeian like you. This guy doesn't know when to give up. Besides, there's no truth to these allegations. I mean, look at the suitcase. You won't find a single print of mine on it. All that means is you wipe them off, taking care to only leave Mr. Arballs. As many a great politician has said before me. No comment. You scumbag! In that case, try switching things up, Apollo. Look at the situation from a different angle. Is there really nothing that points to the suitcase being dropped from up above? Evidence that points to the suitcase being dropped from the second floor? If the killer pushed the suitcase from the second floor hallway over the coffee bar, that would place him right around here. Maybe. Just maybe. Thought of something, Apollo? I believe this piece of evidence to be connected to the dropping of the suitcase. Right, I think I know what's going on here. Somebody ended up having to be moved.
That appears to be a statement, but how is that related to this case?
On the night of the murder, Your Honor, Miss Arnie Buff physically left the room. That's when she saw the doctor burning the orb and subsequently passed out. Right above the coffee bar. But with her there in her wheelchair, the killer wouldn't have been able to drop the suitcase down onto the doctor. Good point. Arnie Butt. However, according to Sarge, she woke up just as someone was trying to move her in her wheelchair. Someone was pushing my wheelchair.
What?
I was so scared, I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me. Arnie Butts. Miss Arnie Butt. She must have been in the killer's way and had to be moved. Isn't that right, Mr. Addison Wimperson? And if the killer had pushed the wheelchair with his bare hands, we may yet find the conclusive evidence we need. Exactly. Fortunately for us, that evidence slipped right through the killer's fingers. If only he'd been able to hold onto it just a little tighter. But now he is neither able to discard nor alter it. Honestly, that piece of evidence wasn't even supposed to be here in this courtroom today. And yet, it looks like sometimes things do get better. But this wasn't supposed to happen. No? Well, too bad, because the evidence that sped away from you that night has come back to haunt you right here at this very trial. Your Honor, the defense's final piece of evidence is on this person. Holy shit. Sarge! You touched the child! That's... On the night of the murder, Sarge passed out, only to come to and find that someone was pushing her wheelchair. That's when she fled back into her room. She didn't physically see a single soul after that. Not until Athena drew her out through that therapy session, that is. Don't touch the child! Fluffy said, I bet that plaque will shatter and he'll be trying to gather the pieces together, yelling, My precious!
My precious, we needs precious.
While the killer was able to wipe the prints on the suitcase, the same can't be said for the prints that got away. My fellow Caranians. Well, Mr. Paul Addison Wimperson, try to explain your way out of this one. The podium is all yours. Slick. Paul Addison, savior of Carane. I am not a crook. My political career, it can't end like this. I'm destined for great things. Something's wrong. This isn't real. It's a dream. No. Oh. What? Wait. Really? Whoa, no way. Bonsai. Wait, what? Oh, no. Please. Wait. Don't go. No, no, please. Whoa! Grandpa! Oh! Nice guess, Fluffy.
Mr. Anderson Whipperson, are you all right? Bailiff, get him to the first aid station on the double. He's having an aneurysm.
That was such a cinematic breakdown. Yeah, funny stuff. Not even the Scotch tape could save his nameplate. Nope, his name, it's in pieces, shattered for all eternity.
Well, this was yet another unexpected turn of events. In light of everything that's been revealed, it seems the relic is indeed the Founder's orb. And it seems Mr. Paul Addison Wimperson can be considered a suspect in Dr. Buff's murder.
Apollo, I want to thank you for everything. Thanks to you, I didn't have to keep bending the truth. I don't know what I would have done without you.
Don't mention it.
You were amazing today, Apollo! Yeah, are we gonna gloss over the fact that, like, you know, Mr. Phoenix Wright has lied this entire time? Shadow says, see, the thing about the crystal of Amy Faye is that he could have gotten the history mixed up. Amy Faye is of the Curianese descent, so it could have been made there. Perhaps. That's what he gets for touching the child! Well, I couldn't have done it without Dirk. Right, flashback to what literally just happened.
A dragon never yields.
Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaw firmly onto its prey to the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get the truth.
A dragon never yields. Even every lawyer should take that to heart.
As it seems both sides have no further objections, would Dirk Sadmadhi please take the stand? Doom-da-doo-doo-doo. Hello. This court awards the orb to the Defiant Dragons, per the stated transfer agreement.
Yay! Funny Stuff has cheered 10 bits. Thank you very much. Bonsai! 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 Hurrah! Hooray! Someone's dead, but yay!
Should the Kingdom of Kurain claim ownership, the matter may have to be deliberated in court all over again. I just hope, or shall I say pray, that I'm not the judge presiding over that one. Indeed, a trial like that might spark an international incident. Still, there are bigger and more momentous things astir in the air.
The revolution. Dirk's really serious about this.
This court is adjourned.
How refreshing. But what kind of twist will come up next? Oh no! May 17th, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. And Maya is still kidnapped. Yeah, where the hell?
Nice work, son. We've finally broken through the last obstacle on the road to revolution.
Revolution? It just doesn't seem real.
Yes, well, to think you actually defeated the Fighting Phoenix. All I can say is, that's my boy!
Well, Mr. Wright did have his hands tied. Who knows if I'd have won if he'd been able to fight me head on. I see it more like you saved Mr. Wright. Saved him? Yeah, remember what he said? He didn't have to bend the truth anymore, and it was all thanks to you. Blah. I don't know about that. Still, I guess it is kind of nice to be appreciated. Mr. Dirk, now that the Holy Mother's face has been revealed, are you gonna have a spirit medium try channeling her? I, for one, would love to see the return of that legendary founder. Yeah, just think about it. Being able to speak to someone right out of the history books?
Unfortunately, it's not that easy.
What? Why? You said it. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I thought this was very easy.
A face isn't enough. You also need the true name of the one you're attempting to channel.
And there's where I think the game's going to be extended, right? Oh, right. Pearl mentioned something like that.
And the founder's true name is only known to the priestess who's been crowned queen. In short, the only living person who knows it is the current queen of Kirain, Garan.
Oh, so without her help, we won't be seeing the founder anytime soon. That's no fun. Noted. So, Dirk, what will you do now?
First, I'll start by tracing the route by which the orb came into Dr. Buff's hands.
Since we now know it was Paul Addison that asked the doctor to study it, isn't he the one who stole it?
No, a political nobody like him couldn't get anywhere near the orb, let alone steal it. He must have had inside help. My money is on someone connected to the royal family.
Oh, right. You said something to that effect back in the cave. Yeah, Chiluxia says, yeah, this case is far from over. Yeah.
Whoever it may be, we may need to expose their dirty scheme to the light of day.
Oh, thank you for the cheer, Chiluxia, very much. Well, I'm sure Mr. Wright has plenty of information courtesy of his dirty client. He might be able to shed some light on this. Right, where is he? Does he have info? Oh, Private Justice! Oh, hey, how about that? You're back. Give me a moment, I need to swap over to that filter.
That was fine work you did at the trial today. You did your sergeant proud.
Back at you, Sarge. Took real courage to leave your room like that. It's all thanks to you and Corpsewoman Sykes. With my siege defense over, I can finally sally forth. Adorable.
But the battle's only just begun. One for me, and me alone to fight.
To lose your mother and then your father, what a terrible thing to endure.
Yeah, and being wheelchair-bound doesn't help.
I mean, yeah, apparently they'll be able to walk soon. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Was that, like, official? Just, like, paralyzed forever and ever? I don't think so. I thought that was just a recent, injury. The funny stuff says, every time I think of the royal family, you think of J. Jonas Jameson needing pictures of Spider-Man. I need pictures of the royal family. Private Justice! I've been thinking. It's about time I stood on my own 2 feet. After all, I no longer have Papa to coddle me.
Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Take a good look, soldier. This is one small step for man, one giant leap for me! Hold my drone for me, will you, Private Justice?
Yes, sir.
What is she up to? Oh. Getting up from chair reveal? Oh, geez, you're probably like... Oh, your legs are probably weird right now. What? Whoa. Awesome.
She's standing? What's this? Sarge, you mean your legs? There.
The doctor told me I was ready to walk again months ago. But if I admitted I could walk, I knew I'd have to leave the house. Oh, Jesus. So I faked it.
Makes sense, but...
Jesus, you really are an introvert, like, to the kings. I kept pretending I couldn't walk, but I knew Papa is watching over... Wait, I know Papa's watching over me now, derpty herps, and I'd hate to disappoint him. So, from this day forth, I'm going to march forward on my own 2 feet. What a brave kid, trying to move forward like this. But it must be so hard this soon after her father's death. I don't know, maybe it's good that she stayed wheelchair-bound, considering we got evidence of a murderer because of it. So, okay.
Don't you ever stop. You just keep on walking, comrade. Stay brave, because there will be days where you'll want to stop. But I have faith you'll find a way to muster the strength to push through them. There.
Yeah, you can do it. Hey, Daddy's back! Still upset. Oh no. Mr. Wright! What's that look on his face for? Oh, Apollo. Is everything all right with Miss Faye? She's safe. For now. Well, then we better go save her, quick! Where is she anyway? I'm afraid I have some bad news. Huh? Maya's not here in the state. Yep, I figured. She's still in Kurain. And she's still being held hostage by the mastermind behind this whole thing. The mastermind! That's right. Paul Addison Whipperson was nothing more than a pawn. Maya's true abductor is in the kingdom of Kurain. What? I mean, I figured. I don't understand, Mr. Wright. What in the world's going on over there? Horrible turmoil, that's what. But as shocking as that news was, it was only the beginning. The beginning of something big. Big enough to shake Kurain to its very core. Revolution. I was being swept up in a mighty wave that nothing could stop. Of course, at the time, I had no idea what the days ahead had in store for us. Funny Stuff says, hey, what if Maya canonically died here? Wouldn't that be fucked up? Yes! I've said it again, and I'll say it again. Yes, that would absolutely be fucked up. Well, shoot, I don't know how much longer this next chapter is going to be. I feel like it's going to be particularly long, though. And I'm going to be honest. Again, I've had sort of like a crummy throat, so maybe it would be a good idea to save the next chapter till the next time that we stream this. I mean, this was a pretty long... this was a pretty long chapter, for the most part. I didn't get quite up to like an hour and a half, which that I tend to try and at least get that for most streams. Take care of yourself. I'm not gone yet. Hold on a second. I'm talking. Yes. I think that might be a good idea. I don't know. Yeah, if there are no objections, I think I'm pretty much going to call it for the stream tonight. I don't know. Jaluxia says it's really long. Okay, then my answer has been made for me. Holy freaking crap. Okay, bye, BitB slams door while still talking. Hey! Rude! Okie dokie. Well, as this really tense music plays, I think we're going to head over to the end screen. So, thanks everybody for coming out to the stream today to chat, to your random stuff. I appreciate it very much. And especially thanks to people that donated today. I appreciate it very much. You don't have to donate anything, but it's really cool when you do. And also followers. Yeah, Will just recently followed, so thank you very much for that. I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. This VOD's going to be uploaded eventually. Yeah, I don't know when. It's going to come down to like when I have some, I don't know, when I finally have wiggle room and when I feel like doing work on VOD uploads. As for tomorrow, since we're going to be streaming, well, a particular man by the name of Terry has recently dropped in a specific video game. So, what say you all that we go and play a little round of Smash next time? And let's take a look at that new character. And honestly, I haven't played Smash in a little while. I'm really excited, and I want to take a look at it. Terry Crews is here. Not quite. Although, wouldn't that be amazing? I would love that. Surprise BitB streams guest, Old Spice Man. BO blocking Oda power! So there's that. And then, as for every other game that I have on my list, seriously, I made like this gigantic plan of playing a ton of spooky games during Halloween month, and I'm probably just going to start piling them into the regular streams, so just a heads up for that one. Because boy, oh boy, like, again, I was sick for most of it, so I'm like, well, I don't feel like doing any spooks and Halloween stuff, so shoot. Guess we're just going to be, doling that out. And a few things include, again, the Cave Story, Jenka's Nightmare mod that I haven't gotten back to, and I need to. And also, I need to play a little bit more of Hollow Knight, because that game was actually pretty good. Fluffy says it's already 2:15 in the morning for you. Oh my god. Sleep. Get yourself slips. I hope you don't have work in the daytime. Oh, Splat Time says, if it's gonna be like viewers join an arena, insert eyes emoji, you're lazy. Loads a gun of being not actually good at Smash. Yeah, that's pretty much what we do for all of the streams, like for all the Smash streams. So, guess that one's up to you. Though we're not very good at Smash either, so yeah, it's up to you. I will say it's pretty fun, and I feel like we're gonna have a pretty full day tomorrow because again, we got a new character got to look at. I have to play through the, the single player classic mode first. Saren says I don't own Smash. Aw, gotta charge my Switch. Oh no. I don't know. Very rarely do I take my Switch off the dock anymore. It's weird. Like I haven't had a reason or need to. Maybe one day while I'm out doing the whole Christmas seeing relatives thing, maybe I'll bring my Switch along and just do something random. Everyone's yelling at Bitby to sleep. Hey, I don't need to sleep. It's like 8 o'clock here. It's fine. I don't need no stinking sleep. Not right now. Okay, I've done a heck of a lot of rambling, and I need to, also, I need to actually prepare a pizza, which I still have some flatbread from the last time that we made the pizza. So you should be getting that picture on the Discord, teasing you with the, the deliciousness of it. So, enjoy that. Bitby's voice box needs sleep. None left beef. I already posted that one. Funny enough, I posted that one, but then I completely forgot to post actual pictures of the real pizza that I had made. It's pretty easy to make none pizza with left beef. Literally just brown up some beef and throw it on. Don't forget, I won't, I promise you. I'm gonna make it even more delectable this time around though, because I'm adding some extra stuff, like some spices and whatnot, and I forgot to do that before. Yeah, the sleep is for Fluffy, but you are wide awake. Why? Again, I hope you work nights, for God's sakes. Actually, I hope you don't work nights, because working nights is miserable. Okay. Gumball pizza. What the heck? I'm gonna watch this after I'm done with the stream stuff here. Okay. I'm gonna end things just so I can watch this video. Again, thanks for coming out. See you next time.